Hi, Lee. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Corey. I bet Corey pops in though. Okay, so let's begin by just closing our eyes, planting your feet. And this is a practice we're going to do every single session until the end and beyond, because I'd love to plant this practice in the field of your soul. And this is something you can do every single day, sometimes twice a day. So closing your eyes, take a long, slow, deep breath in. And take a long breath out. Breath in. And out. And breath in. And with a long breath out, just allow everything to settle. Breathing naturally, notice how your body feels. And in this moment, we're going to practice the physical body practice. We have 5 bodies. We're going to practice and explore each of these today with the intention of balancing our body, our mind, our spirit. So just for a moment, with your eyes closed, don't search, just allow. Don't judge, just surrender. And notice your body and ask with an open heart, ask your body, what do you need from me right now? So breathe and just stay in listening. What do you need from me right now? Take a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. And take a long breath out through your mouth. And now draw your attention to your heart. And just notice if it's feeling tight and constricted, or if it feels fluid and open. Just notice and allow and ask your heart, what do you need from me right now? What do you need from me right now? And taking a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. And taking a long breath out. Let's explore our emotional body. And ask your emotional body, what do you need from me right now? Stay in the listening, stick with it. What do you need from me right now? And take a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. And take a long breath out. And now exploring your spiritual body, ask yourself, ask your spiritual body, what do you need from me right now? What do you need? Take a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. And take a long breath out. Now draw your attention to your brain, your mind, the mind body. And like a curious child, ask your mind, what do you need from me right now? What do you need from me right now? Take a long, slow, deep breath in. There, deep, deep, deep. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Now, long breath out through your mouth. And thank your physical body, your heart body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, and your mind body for being here for you today. And in a moment, I'm going to have you open your eyes, and without saying a word, you're going to write down what you learned today. Open your eyes. And as you write it down, I'll tell you what we accessed. We accessed the physical body, number one. Number two, the heart body. Number three, our emotional body. Number four, our spiritual body. And number five, our mind body. And you have about a minute to fill this out. So I am timing you. And I'm going to be the bell. Ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Time's up. Okay. All I want you to write right now is which body was the easiest for you to access today, or maybe which two bodies. So we've got heart body, we've got physical body, heart body, emotional body, spiritual body, and mind body. Which was the easiest, or which two were the easiest? Write it down so you know. Check in with you. Good to do a little check-in. And then secondly, which two were the hardest today? So we're just going to go around, and in one word, you're going to tell me which two, one or two, were the easiest. And then we're going to go around. You're going to just say one or two words, which two were the hardest. Okay, who will I call on first? Ooh, rock, paper, stone, you guys. You ready? Everybody got your fist? Okay, everybody get your hand out there. We're all just too damn serious. That's all. Okay, ready? Rock, paper, stone. Ready to do it on three. Go. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, two scissors, one rock. Rock smashes scissors. So Holly, you go first.
Okay. Yes, for me is the physical and the mind.
That was the easiest.
That was the easiest, yeah, because I usually take a nap at this time. As you can see, I'm young.
Nah, 2 words. Okay, which hardest? One or two?
Spiritual and emotional.
Okay. Deborah?
Easiest was kind of emotional, spiritual. I'm not sure. I felt like they kind of melded into each other. Hardest was mind.
Okay. Amy?
So not surprisingly, feelings was the easiest to access, and then mind, faith was harder.
Okay, mind and spiritual, right? Mind and faith. Okay, guys, so the two areas that were most difficult to access That body told you what it needed right now. So here's your job. When we're off the call, you will give those two bodies or that one body exactly what it needs right now. Do not wait. Do not falter. Do the thing. Your mind needs to be attended to. Read a book. Listen to something that makes you do a puzzle. Do something that makes your mind kind of light up a little bit. So we get everything kind of in alignment. Okay, spiritual needs to be kind of bumped up. Hey, you know what? Check it out. Do a little prayer, do a little meditation, read a little positive deal. We have an affirmation a day, it's supposed to be positive. So if you're having a little bit of trouble with other areas and you need suggestions, just put it in the chat, okay? For me, the hardest part to access today was, I think that for me today, the hardest one to access was my mind. Yeah, because I gave it a break today. Unfortunately, I gave it too much of a break today. Okay, so wins and victories. Wins and victories. Rock, paper, stone. Here we go, everybody. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Paper, rock, paper. Okay, so Deborah, you start. What's your wins and victories this week?
Well, stuff with my website. I was able to get some stuff fixed, and it was actually a lot easier than I expected. And it's just really nice because now that that's fixed, I can move on to the next piece, and a lot of that will be almost done. And that's very exciting for me. So,
Woo!
yeah, I'm very grateful for that. It could have been ugly, and that's why I'm really grateful.
Way to go.
So,
because as we all know, websites can be a pain in the butt. Holly?
Yeah.
Wins and victories?
Wins and victories. We finally convinced my mom, who I'm working for, to get a dedicated office, and my brother went out last week and we found an office. First day.
Wins and victories, Amy?
We had a really good visit with my parents. They were they did a surprise visit and came out last week, and it was really good.
Yay. You know what? Exactly what you needed, and you're exactly what they needed. Way to go, guys. My win and victory, I'm very excited. I'm really excited, you guys. Here in Missoula, Montana, an osteopath invited me over to his office yesterday because I do yoga with him once a week. He meditates with me once a week, just like it's something that we 3 of us do as buddies. So I go over to his office, check it out. He wants to hire me to be his boundaries coach. This is a guy. This is good news, everybody.
Wow. Fantastic. Great job.
But wait, there's more. As I'm waiting for the elevator, I met a woman coming out of another office, a medical office, and she's a lawyer, works for an insurance company, and she was giving them some positive results. And as her and I rode down in the elevator, she lives in Arizona, I said, hey, you got some time to talk? She said, sure. So we talked, check it out. She's like, are you taking clients right now? Will you please coach me? Woohoo! So
awesome.
Right there, I scheduled her for a vision blueprint, and I see her next Friday. Pretty exciting.
Okay. That's great.
Awesome.
You never know. Miracles happen every day when we come from a frequency. Hello, you little buttercup. Look at those cheeks. Look at your cheeks, you little sweetheart. Oh, the grandma in me's going, Grandma loves you. Okay. So now, what are you grateful for today? I'm grateful for getting to see Amy's baby. Amy, what's your baby's name again?
This is Amaya.
Amaya. Hello, Amaya. Hello, darling. Okay, Amy, what are you grateful for today?
My husband, yesterday was pretty rough. Amaya started teething and consequently chewing on my boobs. And I was in so much pain, and just it was my third day crying, trying to nurse. And I broke down and I told Chris, I'm like, I have to get some formula. Like it hurts too much to pump. It hurts too much to nurse. Like I have to do something different. And so this man was so sweet and so supportive on the phone. But then he came home with teething biscuits and starter foods and like oatmeal packets, and absolutely zero judgment because both of us were pretty adamant that we wanted to breastfeed as long as possible.
Way to go.
And when I said, it's like, I need to do something different, there was zero judgment. It was just, okay. It was like, I'll support you.
Way to go. You know what?
So-
What a man. What a man. Okay, we want to keep this fairly short, guys, because we are under a, see my watch? We're under a time restriction here. Okay, Holly, keep it short. What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for the weather. It's going to be beautiful tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to being outside in my garden and just having a time to just decompress.
Oh, yeah. Deborah, what are
Yeah.
you grateful for?
I'm kind of in the same thing. I've had a busy week so far, and the rest of the week is kind of like I've got an appointment tomorrow, but there's space. It feels like there's space, and I'm grateful for that space.
I'm a fan of space. I'm so happy and grateful that look at you guys, I got my roots dyed today. I'm looking good.
Oh yeah, I get that tomorrow. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. That's my appointment tomorrow.
I'm looking good. I turned the clock back 10 years. Yeah. And I'm also happy and grateful today because I get to play I get to have my flute lesson, and I get to do Ashtanga yoga and Buddhist meditation with my buddy Kay. Okay. I would like to help you to identify and name your emotions because this is module 3. I hope you all loved it. So we're going to dive into module 3 and the foundation of boundary clarity. So let's name it. Use exercise 1 that we all have in our workbook. Everybody's got it. And I would like each of you to share and keep it brief, right? Because we have a little bit of a time suck today. I don't know why, but you know, the clock is going fast. Okay, so share 2 emotions that you've experienced recently from exercise 1, where we name it. Okay, Amy?
So with everything that we have going on this end, it was grief and release.
Grief and release. Okay. Deborah?
Anger. I'm having a family situation that's made me very angry and frustrated, but also supported. And then also just relief because of things getting done with work. But yeah,
Yes.
this weekend was a lot of anger and frustration.
Anger and frustration. Okay, that's good. Good for you. That's really good that you allowed that emotion. Holly?
I'm kind of the same as Deborah. I had a family situation, so anxious, scared, and sad and angry.
Anxious and scared. Okay, good on you. That's good. I love that you're able to say that you're scared. So an emotion that I had was an emotion of fear. And I got kind of scared because my brain made up a story that was stopping me from manifesting helping more people. So I had to move over, under, and around that, set some personal boundaries for Laura Bender. Okay. So when we talk about anxious, okay, I want to encourage all of you guys to come back to what you wrote, and I want you to get more specific. Okay. And so not just anxious, I'd like for you to describe this, for example, like tight in my chest. I can't sit still. Okay, notice how we got a little more descriptive with that. And I was saying I was scared, and fear for me happens inside of my, first it happens for me in my belly. Things happen in my gut first usually. And then okay, how about you, Holly?
Oh, God, I'm choking. Yeah, tight in my chest, chewing my fingernails, and crying, just sobbing.
Tighten my
Not-
chest, I guess, kind of unconsciously chewing, you're not really
Yeah,
checking, right? Okay.
there.
Deborah, how about you?
Tightness in my chest, just general, I mean, just tightness all through here. Yeah, that's it.
Tightening in your chest. That's a really good description. Amy, how about you?
Um, this week has been brain fog. Like the grief has just been brain fog. Like I'm past the crying, but it's just can't think.
Okay, what's a description that you would say with brain fog? What's the behavior that that's created?
I would say unfocused
Unfocused?
and just feeling very scattered.
Yeah, okay, I think that's really good. Okay, so remember everybody, the more specific we are with what we feel, the bigger the chances for us to have a really good vehicle for what we then share with others as we set a healthy boundary for ourselves and we draw the line. So ladies, which of these emotions that you wrote down have you found yourself in the past ignoring or pushing away?
My anxiety,
Which one, Holly?
my anxiety.
Anxiety. Yeah, yeah, that can happen, right?
Yep.
How about you, Deborah?
I think a lot of times in the past, I haven't let myself feel supported, and acknowledge that and being appreciated of that and kind of taking that in. And I'm definitely doing that now, more so, but it's something I need to pay attention to. I need to pay attention when I'm being, and, allow myself to feel comfortable in that.
That's
Yeah.
a brilliant way in, because what you said is now you're starting to allow and you're consciously aware that you have to really stand guard at the portal of your thoughts and feelings, so that you can allow that to happen. That's brilliant. Thank you for sharing. How about you, Amy?
Um, the biggest change that I am doing right now is allowing myself to be slow,
Mhm.
because previously I would have tried to stuff it down and um, caffeinate my way through it and just keep moving.
Nice job. Yeah.
And so being slow.
Push it down is the bandage, right? But now what you're doing is when you give yourself permission to be slow, that's really good, because now you can stay in the acceptance. Staying in acceptance is really powerful. It's potent, it's scary, but it's powerful. And it also, guys, when you do that, put your hands right on your heart. This is self-soothing, by the way. And in those moments that you're feeling these things, if you can, I have a stuffed animal that to be fully transparent, I have a stuffed animal I sleep with. I mean, I got the man next to me, but I got the stuffed animal, and that is the magic. That's my self-soother. And even you can always bring this into your heart if you're alone, because when you put your hands on your heart, you're healing yourself. You're coming back to support yourself. And that's really what this module is about, is allowing yourself to feel and to support. Okay, we talk a lot about God. This is God consciousness. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it consciousness. You can call it Jesus. You can call it God. You can call it whatever. I don't, you find your own special sauce. But we get a chance to really use that tool that God equipped us with, which is pretty cool, right? And so what I want to say when I come into this place of fear, yes, I have shoved down fear, and it became a very powerful companion to me as I was growing Bodies by Binder, because there was no way that I was going to be able to do something that was, most people laughed and thought it was impossible if I allowed myself to be afraid. I was so wrong. That was a really bad subconscious belief, because allowing that fear also, and with grace, instead of fueling all these bad things, I would have been a lot healthier, right? I wouldn't have self-sabotaged. I wouldn't have, overworked, all those things. So as we reflect with curiosity, reflect on the patterns that you hear. And so notice how many of us really do suppress anger or frustration. Who suppresses anger or frustration? Who has done that? I sure have. Oh my gosh, especially frustration, because that happens. And that often leads to boundary burnout, right? Because if we suppress our anger, it just gets bigger. It just messes up our health. Okay. So now we're going to change the channel a little bit, and we're going to look at a proactive practice of emotional inventory. So I do a little people audit. So this is a 10-minute practice. So the purpose of this is to connect with specific feelings to specific people and boundaries needs. I hope this is helpful, everyone. So here are your instructions today. And those of you who are tuning in to today's session, here are your instructions today. I'd love for you to share with me. You can grab I'm going to give you guys Voxer walkie-talkie access to me today, so you can start sharing this. And no worries, I can explain what that is to you at the end, okay? So the instructions: complete the 4 when I help blank, I feel blank, and it would be helpful to blank statements. Okay, so give me 4. And you can access your module 3 for this, if you have it handy, which is, there's 4 of these, and then you'll be sharing one out loud in a moment. When I help blank, I feel blank, and it would be helpful to blank. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to complete 4 of these in your workbook. Okay. And we're going to start right now. Okay, it's time to come back. Oop, stop my thing, reset. Okay, here we go. So I would like each of you now to pick one to share out loud with the group, And we're going to start with Amy. Amy, do you have one?
Yes. So when I help myself, I feel resentment, and it would be helpful to recognize my own needs.
Nice. I love that. Deborah?
Okay, I've kind of had a problem with all of this. I don't think I really, I'm not connecting into it too well. But when I help Beth, who's my youngest daughter, with life skills, I do feel appreciated. And there's really nothing else for the last. It's a good thing. I like it.
And
Yeah.
would it be helpful for her to reciprocate, or would it be helpful? What would be helpful with that for you?
I'm happy with that. So, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
would it be helpful for you then to share something with her?
Well, I mean, I am sharing something with her though. I'm sharing, like how to, how to deal with something with voting, or how to deal with a financial situation.
Okay,
So, yeah, no, it's all
I love
it's
that.
all good.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't I had a hard time coming up with something with a scenario where I help someone with something and it's not working out for me. I was not connecting to that.
Because you love
So if
people.
I do, and also when I'm not comfortable with it, I'm not doing it. So yeah.
Good boundary. So sometimes we might say, when I help Beth with life skills, I feel, but how do you feel when you help her?
Appreciated.
What's under
Appreciated.
appreciation? What's the feeling?
Um, that I'm contributing to her success.
So let's go deeper.
That I'm helping her to launch and be an independent person,
But let's move from the head and into the body, because we just practiced a whole bunch of stuff about, I feel it here, I feel it there. So
Oh, I just feel warm in my heart towards her.
nice.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So when I help Beth with her life skills, I feel my heart it's warm. My heart feels warm.
Yes.
Now,
Right.
would it be helpful for you to tune into that feeling each time you help her?
Yeah,
Good.
I generally do. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's come back because, okay, now can I call you out on that? Do I have your
Call
permission?
me out on.
Yeah, do I have your permission to take this a little deeper?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so when I help my daughter with life skills, I feel warmth in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be helpful for me to access that feeling in the future. Because when I asked you, what did it feel like? Everything was outside of you. You didn't go into what it felt like. It was all here. So
Oh, okay.
when you come back to our recording from today's session, tune into what happened here, okay? And give me some,
Okay.
I'd really like to hear from you what your takeaways are.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you did great. Okay, Holly?
Okay. When I help my husband with decluttering, I feel frustrated because he is a hoarder and he cannot let anything go. And so that makes me very angry because this is part of my problem that I'm dealing with right now, the decluttered house.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I help my husband declutter, I feel angry.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he won't let go of anything. I've got a full bedroom full of junk
Okay.
that I can't even walk in it.
Okay,
And it's all his stuff.
okay. Can you finish
Go
that?
ahead.
It would be helpful too.
It would be helpful for him to recognize that he needs to let these things go and they're not serving him anymore.
Okay.
And that's hard for
Okay.
it's hard for me too.
It's hard for you too. So it'd be helpful for him to recognize he needs to let these things go, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do I have your
Yes.
permission to unpack this a little bit, go a little deeper?
Yes.
See, Deborah, you're not alone.
Yeah, I could have said no.
Okay. When I help my husband to unclutter, I feel angry. Angry, I want you to identify where you feel this in your body, because we did an exercise before this around where do you feel that? I feel
Yeah,
what?
I feel it in my heart, in my stomach, in my gut. I feel it everywhere because it's almost like bone crushingly sad for me.
Okay,
You
that,
know, I want
but okay, so in that moment, what's the first thing that kicks in? Your heart, your gut, what?
my heart,
That's
my
it.
heart.
And what
Yeah,
did you feel?
it feels tight. Feels like it's constricted, and it just when I go into that room, it just thump, 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 like
Good.
anxious.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so your heart feels tight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And then it would be helpful for him to what?
To just recognize that he's has to let these things go. I mean, he has to recognize he's a hoarder for one.
What is the value of him recognizing anything?
It'll help me. um,
So this isn't about him, it's about you.
it's about, of course. Yes, it is. It's about us both, actually. Because I have to live with him. He has to live with me.
That's right. So you have to live with him, but ultimately you have to live with yourself in an environment with somebody that makes your heart tighten up because they have a bad
Mm-hmm.
behavior.
Yes. Yep.
So what would be helpful? Okay, you would really like for him to what?
Just schedule a time, like to set it, like put a timer on for like an hour, and just have him and I just go through things and just toss crap out. We actually did clean out our pantry this weekend,
Mhm.
um, and it looks beautiful in there now. If a pantry can be beautiful, our pantry is beautiful right now, and that was a good thing. That was a major win. So,
So let's get a little more specific with this. Complete when I help, I feel, and it would be helpful too. So let's go back to like just square one, right? Because um, you want him to recognize all this stuff, but what's the first place to start in like square one? Okay, square one. So it would be helpful too. This is
um, just square one, just um, clean, just clean.
would it be helpful for him to sit down with you and put a plan together?
Yes, yes, that would be helpful. Sometimes it would be helpful for him to just sit down and stay out, and I can just throw everything out. I
No,
mean, but I
not the
don't have the privilege to do that.
So I come to your house and I live with you and I say, Holly, I don't like all your stuff in the bathroom on the vanity.
Mm-hmm.
Sit over here and I'm going to clean it. What did I just do to you?
Um, you just cut me out of taking care of my own stuff.
Yeah,
You just you pushed me out of my lane is what you just did.
nice job. So now, what would be your new approach with your husband? It would be helpful too.
It would be helpful to set aside a time to set up a plan, so we can so I can help you go through and clean up this mess. And
Um, okay, so let's make this even easier. Okay. Are you ready?
okay.
Okay, so would it be helpful for him to recognize that this makes your heart tighten up?
Yes, yes.
Would it be helpful for him to know that you're you have feelings that may be different, that might not even be your heart closing off, but maybe it reminds you of something? And would it be helpful to
Yeah.
conversation about, and not say you, but to say, I feel how about we take a different angle? I love it when you.
Right. Right. I love it when you, um, I love it when you help me, um, get our house organized because I love working with you and we have a good time together and I have a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun cleaning out my pantry.
Okay.
That was good.
How about if
Um,
you give him choices?
how about what?
How about you give him some
Choices?
choices?
Mm. um, like you take one side, I take the other. I don't know.
Well,
um,
how about if he recognizes this is his idea, not yours?
oh, right. Yes, that actually that's kind of true because he was the one that started cleaning out the pantry. He actually opened the door and I'm like, oh, you decided to clean out the pantry. I'll help you. Great. Let's do this.
Would you like more
So
of that?
I would love more of that. Yes.
Okay, so let's reframe this, come back to when I help, I feel, and it would be helpful too.
When I help my husband, I feel, oh, man, I got me in a roadblock here. My brain just went dead. Um, um, yeah, when I help my husband, I feel glad that I can help. I know I feel glad that I can help, but oh, my heart feels tight. And I feel sad when because I can't use my own spare bedroom and I need to,
Too,
huh?
it would be helpful too.
It would be helpful to um, have us clear this out so we can use our bedroom again. No?
It would be helpful to have a shared, I mean, have a plan, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
the shared agreement. And guess what, Holly?
Right.
Check it out. You're going to give him options. Hey, I need your help. You know, I really loved it when you cleaned the pantry out this weekend. It just really filled my heart with joy. Let's sit down and let's talk about our next steps. What do you think? Would you like to do this or that? Or do you have an idea that you'd like to contribute?
Yeah. There you go. See, you nailed it. I don't know what I did to get him to clean out the pantry, but I need to do more of that.
Nice job. Okay, let's take a breath. Go and take a long, slow, deep breath in and take a long breath out. Just at the beginning, everybody. Nice job. Come back to the recording and listen. Okay. Okay, everybody. I want you guys to get as much value out of this moment as humanly possible. So, what did it feel like? Who would like to, like one or two of you, who would like to share what it felt like to share your I help, I feel, and it would be helpful to statement? And I want you to be honest. What did it feel like to say it out loud?
Frustrating. Just being put on the spot. That's frustrating. Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice of me, huh?
No, but it helped. It did help because now I have a plan.
I guess I asked the hard questions.
Yep.
Anybody else want to share?
I don't know. I was feeling kind of disconnected from it, from the process, because I wasn't, I didn't have a situation that was, angry, miserable, frustrated that where I was helping somebody and not getting what I needed back. But it felt, I felt more connected
Nice.
when you helped me connect to that warm heart feeling, which is true. I do have a warm heart feeling when I help her.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want, you want more of that, right?
Right. Right.
You
Yeah.
want more of shared agreements because I know you, unlike everybody else in the room. I know you, and I know
Uh-huh.
you, Holly really wants that shared agreement. I know that for a fact, right? Um, And there's things that come into play here that we're not really talking about, which are preferences in a relationship, differences, stresses, all these things. So Holly, you know how to check in with me later. Amy, would you like to share any feelings that came up for you?
So the longer I thought about it, the more I realized that there's also some embarrassment there. And it's on two different levels. Is the first, it's like the self-conscious embarrassment, like that, you know, I need help, need to help myself in this area. But the other side is also embarrassment that, you know, my family and the people around me can see that it's an issue and can see that I'm also struggling to ask for help. We had a big family conversation a while ago, and one of the girls said to describe me, it was like, will be overwhelmed and not ask for help. And so, you know, it's like you're not holding it together as much as you think you are.
Don't let that stop you, Amy. You are unstoppable. And ladies, here's the deal. There's no room for shame or guilt or any of that garbage, right? And the thing is that sometimes when we step back, we have to say, what would I really love? Okay. Because I often say this, and I say this more in terms of relationship. And this also means relationship with ourselves, right? Would you rather be right, or would you rather make love? Would you rather be right, or would you rather have a flow of a relationship with someone that feels deeply fulfilling, connected, loved, with your daughter, with your family, with the people you care about? Sometimes we'll take it to the mat to be right. Holly, Ken Bender is a hoarder. He's an organized hoarder. Okay. Right? So I'm deeply connected with what you're describing to me. And I have found that choices are queen. Pick your battles, but give choices all along the way. And remember, the secret to intimate connection in any relationship, everybody, any relationship, is positive reinforcement. I love it when you and offer choices. Corey and I had this conversation on Monday, and Corey's not here today, but we give choices and we don't give advice, because people in your world don't necessarily want your advice unless they ask for it. That's kind of tough. That's really painful for me, Deborah, with my adult child. Just saying, because she will not ever ask for advice. And by golly, I sure do want to give it. Okay, guys. Self-care. Let's kind of sew this up a little bit. We want to link emotional awareness to empowered boundaries and self-care habits, okay? So as self-care activation is what is in lesson number 3. And I'd like for you to journal 3 self-care activities from your original list this week that you'll commit to. So 3 self-care activities. And self-care, as you guys really know, you're deeply connected, you're coaching with me. So we're not going to talk about like me getting my roots done. That was not self-care. That was self-maintenance. Because it's not like I go, oh my God, I desire more of that. Forget it. It's not like I go, oh my God, I can't wait for you to dye my hair again, because I can. Quite frankly, it's not my favorite thing. Okay, so journal 3 self-care activities. Okay, and quickly, within 2 minutes, share 1 boundary you want to set or 1 self-care ritual you'll commit to this week. So you got 2 choices: 1 boundary you want to set, keep it short, or 1 self-care ritual you'll commit to this week and why it matters to your confidence. Okay, so we're going to keep it short words, short and sweet. Oh boy, I know I'm tough, right? I'm kind of a meanie, but guess what? Women, they graduate from my program successful because I'm mean. Love me, hate me. Those are always my favorite teachers. Okay, guys. One boundary, or you got it out here, one self-care ritual you'll commit to this week. Deborah.
I have been slacking on walking, and it's something that I really enjoy. And part of it's the weather, but also part of it's been just stuff, letting stuff get on to my list and having, feeling overwhelmed with a lot to do. So I am going to commit to a lot more walking, not every day, but at least every other day.
Nice job.
So,
Holly.
yeah.
I'm going to commit to going into the office. That's my boundary with myself to get more work done. And then as for the self-care, we got an inflatable hot tub. I'm going to utilize that.
Come on. You want to fight with this man with an inflatable hot tub? Stop it. Amy?
So I am committing to putting my phone down. I want 3 hours or less of screen time.
Woohoo! Oh my gosh, that's powerful. That's really powerful. Okay, so Mike, this week, the self-care ritual that I'm going to hold my hand to this fire is doing my grateful list every day. 10 things I'm grateful for, and my intention is to make them different every single day. Okay, so wrap up and integration. I'm going to recap the key theme for today's coaching session. When you name your feelings, you reclaim your power. Your emotions are not the enemy, they're the compass. And here is your closing integrative homework, or life work, I like to call it. Each evening, name one emotion you felt and what it told you about your needs. And that can be kind of hard for some of us. Although honestly, guys, there's not one woman in this coaching group that can't do that, because you're all emotional creatures. That's why you coach with me. You guys, I want to give you all a big hug. I wish I was right in front of you. Amy, I wish I was right there holding you in my arms. Okay.
Thank you.
Holly, I know where to find you. And Deborah, you and I will interface at some point. So will Kaylee, and Corey and I will also at some point interface. Okay. So you're going to prepare to share one moment from this in the next session. And by the way, these 2 questions will be in our Facebook group. Okay.
Wait, 2 questions I've got each evening. Name one emotion and what it told you. What was the other question?
Prepare to share one moment from this in the next session.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I will have a positive prompt for you this week. By the way, make sure you grab all the assets in the program workbook. And if you cannot access those, they're also available in the Facebook group. Nice job, ladies. This was a tough session. You guys made it through and you did a great job. I'm really proud of all of you. This is why it's so crucial to be here, is because, yeah, it's hard to practice, but know one thing, we're all breathing and we've all had this experience. We are in this together, every single one of us. Okay, and Holly, I want to share with you in closing, I had 20 years of an unfulfilling marriage because I tried to control Ken Bender into a box. So I spent 20 years of being in a place of absolute discomfort. In closing, where I grew up, there was abject poverty all along the road I grew up on, and all the people had all this stuff in their front lawn. And to me, what that represented was poverty and defining myself by being that person. And I felt shame. So when I see things around my yard, Ken's got over 100 bicycles because he sells them online. My immediate emotion is shame. And where I feel that is in my gut. And that feeds back into the subconscious things my mother used to say. So I have to tell him, I feel this way because of this, and I need that. These are some choices. What would you like to do? What can you do? Or what's an alternative you'd like to offer? And I found that to be very helpful for me in my marriage. And it's actually helped to deepen my emotional connection with myself first, because I didn't want to admit that. I was scared to tell him that. Okay.
Mhm.
Because he came from a really rich family, but he knew what he married when he married it. And I was ashamed and scared to share that with him for like 20 years until I realized what I felt. Okay. So I just want to kind of let you know that you are really not alone on this. There's a reason why I pick on you guys. Okay. So I love you and I want you all to be very successful. And I'm a really good coach. Just ask me. Okay. So in closing, guys, thank you for joining me today. I would love it for you to go into the Facebook group and share your takeaways today. That's why it's there underneath today's post. Share your takeaways from today's session underneath the Zoom recording. And the intention also is I'd like you guys to start cross-pollinating and supporting each other, because you're coaching each other more than me coming in and coaching you, okay? Because you guys are the voice of wisdom, each of you. Deborah, you have powerful wisdom to share with this group. Share it. Amy Bryant, you are a wise woman. And you know, you're an example. The age is not a barrier to entry when it comes to wisdom. And Holly, you have deep experiences to share. Kaylee has a deep and powerful connection. She's an incredible coach. So Kaylee, you weigh in. Corey Ramos, weigh in and share your wins and victories. And Barbara, who is even more brilliant. I love that. Thank you, Amy. And Amy's living through lots of pain. Yes. And Barbara, who you all haven't met yet, is actually a therapist and she's 70 or better, and she will be joining us along the way. So to let all of you know that you guys are amazing and I love you and I'm glad you joined us today. Be prepared to do the work next Wednesday because we're going to practice. Woohoo! Okay, everyone. Share your takeaways underneath the video. I'm sending all my love.
All right. Bye.